we're going to do our top 3 tips on how to lose weight and get back on track after Christmas and New Year's.
You're such a professional, you're my absolute hero. Right. So professional.
I was born to do this. So, tip number 1.
Yes.
No snacking. It's unwanted, unneeded calories that actually can spike your blood sugar and leave you craving more food throughout the day, as opposed to just getting back on track with 3 regular meals, which are nicely balanced.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there is a lot of marketing going towards your 11s snack. There's a lot of marketing based around trying to get you to consume these snacky products. They're not necessary. If you're eating 3 square meals a day, I'm not a big snack guy. You know, if you're eating those big 3 square meals a day, and I've got my way I would like people to plate up a meal, and if it's balanced with enough complex carbohydrates, proteins, and fibrous veggies, you're not going to be hungry before your next meal. And if chances are, if you are hungry before your next meal, it's not hunger, it's thirst.
Yeah, so, grab a glass of water or a black coffee or a herbal tea and have a drink instead. I think this is the thing, like, we're programmed now, aren't we, we should have, if we want to lose weight, we need 5 small meals a day. We're programmed from probably being in jobs and being at school, tea breaks. So you have your break, then you have a tea break at work. So it's associated with food. I think like there's too many options and associations to food. For me, if I snack, I would have planned in smaller meals so I can have my snacks, and then I never feel full. So I would actually rather have 3 meals a day where I feel nice and full afterwards for the same calorie content or less calories than I would from adding extra snacks in there. That makes sense. Smaller meals will actually leave me hungrier and more likely to eat more food.
Yes. Yeah, it's worth mentioning. You mentioned about blood sugar there. Like a blood sugar spike is normal after a meal. It is normal. I don't think, in my opinion, it's not necessary to have that blood sugar spike 5-6 times a day. I personally go to war on the term breakfast. It stands for breaking your fast. I don't think that meal should come within 20-30 minutes of you waking up. I think you should wait until you're actually hungry. That's my personal opinion, and I have a lot of success with suggesting that to people. Once you get past the idea of force feeding food into the system first thing in the morning, you're certainly not you're certainly going to appreciate not doing that. But snacking for me is just a thing that we are conditioned to think we are supposed to have. And I've got guys, I've mentioned him to you before, the guy who wakes up, he's got the best life, he's in IT, working from home. And I don't know if this is just me working with an abnormally large amount of people that work from home, but he wakes up at like 2 minutes to 9. He on his phone logs onto Microsoft Teams so that he's working. He's not doing anything. He's on Teams, but he's on social media. But he'll go and force feed food, and that's 9 o'clock, 10 past 9, and then at 10:30 he'll have his healthy snack, because he's going to go healthy snack, but it'll be peanut butter and bananas, or peanut butter and apple, or a breakfast bar. This is the best one of these breakfast bars. Then lunch at 1, then another snack at 3:30, and then dinner with the wife at 6:30. And how many is that? Is that 5 meals?
5 meals.
He's only been awake 8 hours, and he's already had 5 meals. And then he's snacking into the evening on healthy stuff. Again, he's having nuts, of course, because it's healthy and stuff like that. And before he realises, he's wondering, he's questioning me as to why he's not losing weight. And like, you've just tracked it all. You can see you don't need it. You didn't need that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think like you just said then, just because the food is a good food, a healthy food, a superfood, still has a calorie content. So either you're tracking your food and you've worked them into your plan, and that's fine. If you're tracking your calories and you've decided you want to have 3 meals and a couple of little snacks, but you know it fits your calorie intake for the day, fine. If that's what works for you. But what we're saying here, we're kind of aiming this at people who aren't tracking their calories and just want to get back onto good habits following a bit of a binge over Christmas and New Year's. You just don't need them. If you should be having 3 nice big meals a day that fill you up, full of veggies,
Yeah.
like Ben says. Nice protein source, carb source, full of veggies. That should be all you need.
Is that you endorsing eating something green? Is that what you're saying there?
Mate, I eat my greens. I might not enjoy it, but I eat my greens, and everyone else should too. It's a really it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's what people forget. Veg fills you up. It's fibrous. It keeps you feeling full. We don't have it. People that are eating very beige plates and processed food, it's no wonder you're craving food and you're hungry. It's just going through you. There's nothing there to actually make you feel full.
Mm.
Why not add in loads of veg for low calories that fill you up?
So, I'm proud of us, mate. That's like, what, 10 minutes and we're already a third of the way through?
Yeah.
We might get this done in 20 minutes. Like I said we're going to.
Tip number 2 then. Get yourself an accountability buddy.
Yes.
It is much, much easier to do this with someone else. Get yourself a friend that you can train with, or get yourself a friend who just wants to lose some weight, and you guys once a week or however often it is, just update each other on how you're getting on and whether you're managing to lose and what's worked for you and what hasn't worked. But do it together, because ultimately, if you're trying to lose weight and you're doing it on your own, there's no one there to pat you on the back. There's also no one there to make you stick to what you're doing. So it could be a friend, could be a family member, could even be a coach, but not me. I'm very busy. But it could be it could be whatever source it is. A coach is obviously, you're going to have to pay for them, but the information and the accountability is probably going to be better than. But if you find someone else who's in the same boat as you, which is what I would advise to do at first, then pair up.
Yeah, even if it's something like Slimming World, you want to join your local Slimming World if you've got one in the area, or Weight Watchers, or whatever it is, you want to sign up with a coach. Like you say, probably not us, but get yourself a friend. Do it with a friend. If you want to join a gym, there's probably a discount for a joint membership. Like your adherence is going to skyrocket if you're going to go with a friend with similar motivation, or at least is more disciplined than you. Discipline is something I'm always going to say is more important than motivation. So if you've got someone who you know is disciplined enough to keep you on track, pair up with that person and stick with it and go together. You'll enjoy it more as well.
Yeah, I massively agree. And I think as well, if you're someone that doesn't enjoy training and doesn't want to go to the gym, and if you've got a friend in there that you can have a laugh and a joke with in between sets, or even someone that you just know is going to be there at a certain time and you're going to let them down if you don't go, then you're much more likely to fit the gym into your life. Yeah. If you're going by yourself and you hate it, you are probably going to get to a point where you just go, nah, fuck this. This isn't for me. That's what got me training in the first place.
Yeah, I think it transcends fitness as well. Like, you look at what you and I are doing in business, like these groups we're working on. How many years have we spoke about doing it individually? Suddenly we've paired up, and now I'm doing it because I don't want to let you down. And
yeah, it make like this podcast. this podcast, doing it with you, is an accountability buddy, because I'd never do it on my own.
No.
So
and it would be quite boring if it was just one of us logging in talking to ourselves for an hour.
I think it'd be more fun, actually. I think the content would be a hell of a lot better if you weren't here, but
it would probably be a lot more intelligent and a lot more entertaining anyway.
No, it's exactly this principle, isn't it? There's no reason that 2 coaches can't work together if they hold each other accountable. It's the same with you with your fitness goals. If someone's holding you accountable and there's a time you have to be somewhere and do something, or there's someone waiting on your check-in, it's just a little bit more oomph to kind of get going with it, isn't it? So I think as well, accountability buddy can kind of work in terms of a peer group as well. So just very quickly, like if you tell your friends and family that you're trying to lose a bit of weight, they're less likely to kind of, if you're out in the pub and you have a Diet Coke, or you have a vodka and Diet Coke, if you still want to have a little bit of booze, then they're less likely to be like the kind of peer pressure into, what are you doing that for? You've told them what you're there for. So
that's interesting, because we need to normalise that more, don't we?
Mm.
We need to know. You're the weird one. If you go to the pub and you go, I'm just going to have a Diet Coke tonight, I'm not going to drink. You're weird, you don't fit the social norm.
Yeah.
You go into the office. Do you remember at Henley, you and I were the weird ones because we'd prep our meals and we'd turn up and we'd eat what people would perceive as dry and boring food because we were the weird ones for doing that.
Yeah. Doesn't fit with the norms, does it? To take a packed lunch in or a pre-prepared meal that you want to eat. But if you were there and you went to the vending machine and had a chocolate bar or you ordered in a pizza, that's normal.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a social norm. Like, order a takeaway and spend 20 quid on a pizza or a tenner on a Chinese. That's normal in an office situation. A meal deal is completely fine, but suddenly you prep a meal or dare skip a social event because you want to get an early night because you're tired and you want to just, like this. That's weird. However, binge drinking and eating like shit is normal, and binge. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah,
like we need to switch the narrative of what is societally acceptable.
Exactly that. And don't get me wrong, I've been on both sides of it. So I've been the binge drinker and the binge eater. So if I'm out in the pub, I'm not going to criticise people for getting a pint, am I? But they will go, "Oh, what are you drinking a Diet Coke for? What's wrong with you?" Well, I actually lie. I have to tell people I'm driving half the time, even when I'm not. Or I will drive purposely to have the excuse because I need an excuse. I'm not telling people not to drink. Please, go ahead and drink. Enjoy your drink. But don't have a go at others who don't want to drink. Just let them be them. There's a reason they're doing it.
So let's normalise people taking a healthy option with their life, and let's not bastardise that shit.
Yeah, and back to the accountability. Tell your friends and family why you're doing it, and just say I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. If it's family members, and you are, a little bit overweight, they'll support you. If they're half decent anyway, they will.
Yeah, I'd like to see more people. Right. So if let's say outside of obviously disorders and body dysmorphia and stuff like that, outside of that, if someone says like I would like to. I'd like to change this. I'd like to gain this muscle. I'd like to lose this weight. Instead of saying, "Oh, you look fine as it is," support that person. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Support them.
100%. And your words of encouragement, if they've told you that's what they're trying to do, if you then pay them a little compliment back when you notice them getting results, that means so much to people. That's what keeps people on track. Support them. Don't hate them for it. Don't criticize what they're doing. Or what you find is most people criticize you in a group. I found this a lot as a when I first started training. Will you get the piss ripped out of you when you're in a group? During the course of that night, if you're on a night out, individually, people will come up to you and go, so how do you do this, and what are you doing to do that? Like people on 1-to-1 scale are actually interested and want to know, but in a group session, but in a group environment, will take the piss out of you. Part of that is fine. That's that is like having a close friendship group, but we need to eradicate it if it's actually making people feel guilty for their choices. Yeah. It's fine to when I say it's fine to a point where it's humorous. Yeah. But let people be people and don't criticise what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to call him out on this. My dad's actually really bad for this because he's always taken the piss out of exercise. He's never really understood it. He's never got it. So if I'd have listened to the societal norm of my dad telling me and taking the piss out of me watching all these muscly men videos and all that, if I'd listened to it, I'd have given up years ago. So let's just be a little bit more supportive and encouraging to our friends, our family, and let's find someone to keep ourselves accountable.
Tip number 3: move every day.
Just fucking move. Just move.
It's pretty simple, isn't it?
Please. Stop moaning. Just move. Do something about it.
There's no one out there that can't find time in the day to do some sort of movement. Agreed?
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably not the best person to speak on this. I'm married, no kids, live on my own. Like, I'm probably not the best person to speak on it, but you can, being that you've got a wife, you have to satisfy. I'm going to use a different choice of words there. You have a wife that you need to consider. you have a newborn in the house, you're running a business, like I think you're very well placed to speak on this. You can still find the discipline within yourself to find the time.
100%.
I mean,
incorporate them into what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Having a kid is no reason not to go out and move every day. Strap them in the buggy, take them out for a 20-minute walk. I mean, I'm a really...
it's more of a reason, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think as well, like, it's never going to be, people who work in office jobs, I've never had a real job, so I don't really understand. But for those people who sit in front of a desk for 8-9 hours a day and say they don't have time to go out for a walk, would you not be more productive if you had a lunch break? Or, let's be honest, most people are working from home. I'm sure you can find a time in the day to take a break. Would you not be more productive if you actually left your laptop, went out for a 20-minute walk, cleared your head, got some fresh air, and then came back to it? When I'm training clients, if I have like 4 or 5 of them back to back, and you get a bit fuzzy after a while. They wouldn't notice, but you do. I go and train at another gym because it gets me out of that building, it gets me into the fresh air, it gives me a different change of scenery, and then when I come back in later, I'm nice and fresh and I want to carry on. If I trained in the same place and I'd been in those 4 walls, God, I'd go mental. Like I'd go stir crazy. So I think like getting up and moving, we can all do it. We can find like 10. If you don't want to go for a walk, for whatever reason, you can find a 10-minute workout you can do on YouTube. You can put it on your laptop. There's always time in the day. Who hasn't got 10 minutes? You spend 10 minutes on social media. You probably spend an hour in the evening watching TV. Coming back to the accountability buddy, why don't you make your accountability buddy your partner if you're in that position where you want to lose a bit of weight? Do a 10-minute workout together in the evening on YouTube. It all rolls into one. But everyone can.
I think it might be necessary. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say it might be necessary in some ways because we're in the middle of winter here in the UK, and it's obviously dark in the evenings from like 4:30 onwards. So I completely appreciate females might not want to walk in the evening on their own, but you can certainly find an accountability buddy to walk with. You can certainly stick. Did you know there's videos on YouTube now where you can get 5,000 steps in 15 minutes, and they're like dancing workouts and step workouts on YouTube. Fantastic,
great tool, yeah. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Brilliant.
But everyone out there can incorporate some form of exercise or movement into their daily life. Set yourself an alarm clock on your phone that dings off, and at that time, you can work out your tomorrow today. Put a little thing in your phone that sets an alarm, and at that time, you're going to go for a 10-minute walk. Don't snooze it. Don't cancel it. Get up and go.
Maybe switch your snacks out, and instead of snacking, go for a walk in your tea breaks.
Yeah, good. I like that. It all makes sense, doesn't it? It's all simple stuff. But what I think we're trying to do here is just change a few bad habits, right? And I think that is the key to all of this is when you're trying to get back on track, just pick 2 or 3 simple little things like these that you can incorporate into your life that will start you on good habits. Because all of these, what we're saying, are bad habits. Not moving, not snacking, and trying to do it on your own. That is quite a bad habit because there's no... Unless you're very self-motivated, it's very hard to get it to work. So it's not really a habit, but it's not a...
Yeah, habitual change is the key word there, isn't it? That's the buzzword at the moment. If you can make them habits, you're going to continue with them on for the rest of your life, and they're going to be much more sustainable.
Yeah, not rocket science. None of these are rocket science, but if you can incorporate these 3 things, I think you're far more likely to get yourself back on track again. So I think we'll round it up with that then. So tip number 1, no snacking. Tip number 2, find yourself an accountability buddy. Tip number 3, some form of movement every day.
Move. Just move.
Just fucking move.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of them. Since we've got to this point, should we see if anyone's still paying attention? If you've got this far, comment down in the... What can we get in the comment? What's your safe word? Have you come up with one yet?
Shall we? Nah, still working on it. I want a really good one that's going to really throw, it's going to really be like... I'm a bit like this with everything though, like nothing's good enough. I'm so indecisive. I want to have a massive shock factor, and that's that.
It does kind of. That is kind of you to a nutshell, isn't it? Oh, I'm not going to announce my. I'll always be able to come up with a better one. I'm not going to announce it yet.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, the amount of money I would have made if I'd have just followed through with like one of my ideas, but I don't. I'm so indecisive, and until things. This is why this podcast is probably so shit, because we're not waiting for it to be perfect. We're just putting it out there.
Yeah.
If you waited for it to be perfect, it would just never get done, right? I don't know how we went from my safe word to perfect. But anyway, what about hamstring? Just for a laugh, let's put hamstring in the comments. If
Chris's cramps, hashtag Chris's cramps in the
comments, and yeah, if you are trying to incorporate any of these, or if you've got any of your ideas of your own, then also comment and let us know what you're trying to do to get back on track.
Yeah, or if you'd just like to argue for the fact, Chris is in a very argumentative mood lately, so I think it might be more diet related, but
I'm so hungry all the time.
How's the weight drop going though? You losing anything?
Yeah. I've probably dropped. What was I 90? I'm down like 3 kilos maybe since Christmas, so it's all coming in the right direction.
So have you made any big changes, or is it just are you doing anything differently?
I am tracking my food. I've incorporated a little bit more cardio, a bit more HIIT training at the end of my sessions. Not all of them, just a couple of times a week, and that's it really. More steps. I am getting more steps in. So yeah, it's just small changes, isn't it? I'll do those, see when they work. When they stop working, I'll look to change 1 or 2 more things. But
amazing.
Yeah, small changes. That's what gets results, isn't it?
Good man.
Cool. All right, buddy.
What are you weighing at the moment?
So I'm now down to 97, I think. So I want to get down to like 93. I feel good at 93. I can move.
If anyone's asking, just in case anyone's curious, that's 97 kilos. Chris is 6 foot tall-ish. Almost 6 foot tall. So it's 97 kilos for anyone who goes, he's 97 pounds.
I'll be honest, I've lost 2 kilos and I feel like I'm 97 pounds. You know, that psychological effect of losing weight. I'm suddenly like, I see other people in the gym and I'm like, oh, should I just go back to doing a bit more bodybuilding stuff and eating a bit more food? It's such a psychological battle for me to lose weight, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to you get to a crossover point where you lose a bit of weight. At the beginning, you just feel soft and kind of and in between nothing. And then you lose enough where you start seeing this muscle definition that you look really big again. Like I remember when I lost like 7-8 kilos when I was doing the show. If I lose 7 or 8 kilos, people come up to me and they go, fucking hell, you're massive. Like, what have you been eating? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh no, I've just lost 8 kilos. But because you can see the muscle definition, you look huge. Trouble is, you put like jumpers on and t-shirts and you feel tiny. So it's a psychological battle. But if you get to that stage, then that's good. Like it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, welcome to my world. You just look skinny fat all the time.
Yeah, but with a top off, you look great, but no one sees you with a top off. So
nope.
That's probably another.
And every time
No, go on.
I
was going to say that's a topic for another day, but I think that's where social media can hold you accountable and be a really useful tool. We
should do an episode where we just shit on social media, because about 4 times today I've had to stop myself and go, oh, it's quiet, because I keep wanting to shit on social. Because even like there, when you were there, you're obviously you're looking at the roided up monsters online. You're thinking, I don't look like that at the moment. I need to change my approach.
Yeah,
it's a really negative approach to have, isn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Like yeah. I reckon we just do one episode on social media, because everything I say always comes back to something negative about it. There are positives with social media, obviously. There's just far more negatives.
Yeah. I mean, we make a living through social media pretty much. So if it disappeared tomorrow,
I'd be fine. That's what I have set my business over the last few years, where I don't depend on it. I used to, and I hated it. Like in terms of, I don't know, like it was a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of topless pictures of me and a lot of this, that and the other that I didn't like. So I stopped it all. And what I think again, we're going off on social media. We will do an episode on social media.
Should we?
Let's leave that one there.
Yeah, should we leave that one there and we'll shit on social media another time? Because I could rant for a long time.
Yeah, they are your 3 weight loss tips to get yourself back on track for the new year.
Yeah, they might not be popular, but if you stop snacking, but do you know what? That's my favourite. Stop snacking, for goodness sake, guys. If you stop snacking and you get yourself accountable and you just move a bit more, you're going to be surprised. It is as simple as that. Less is more.
Less is more. Perfect. Cool, mate. Chat to you soon.
Yeah, man. Good to speak to you as always, pal.
And you, mate. Take care. Peace.
Love you, man.